guys, yeah, Coach Zoe here, and this is going to be a functional resistance band circuit workout for better posture. We're going to improve your posture, your alignment. All right, with just one mini loop resistance band, we're going to focus on our upper bodies for today. All you need is one light resistance band. Let's get ready to rock and roll. You can put that down. We're going to go through our warm up. This workout can be done for pretty much any fitness level. All right, nothing crazy built in, no impact. We're gonna focus on building strength mostly in the posterior chain while holding good posture and correct alignment in the spine, working through moves that are going to pretty much just help you stand up taller, activate those shoulders down, chin back. All right, all things to help us stand up just a little bit straighter. And so we're going to really focus our warm-up today on activating the upper back, activating the shoulders, mobilizing the shoulders. Good. And let's just stand up tall, and we can swim those arms through. Good. And some over-unders. Let's start swapping it side to side. No cardio built in, so it is a strength workout, a strength-focused workout. All right, so we're not gonna be jumping around or anything like that. We're gonna be focused on getting quality, challenging reps in within our intervals today. All right, circuit style, so we're gonna hit a lot of different moves and go through quite a few different times. So just so you know what to expect. But I do want that blood pumping through the full body still. We're just gonna take extra care to warm up through the upper. Good. All right, from here, take those arms overhead, keep your biceps in line with your spine, or in line with your ears as much as possible. And we're gonna turn the light bulbs into the ceiling. So we're turning those elbows in and out. Again, we're trying to get through a full rotational range of motion here. It's not just my wrist, it's also my whole arm. Take it out, same thing. Good, and hands up goalposts. Let's window wiper those up and down. Good, squeeze them together. Good, and let's just find some arm circles with the march. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, rest. All right, I'm just going to demonstrate right before we start each move. We're gonna start with a row to kick back. So hold that band in your hand like so. You're gonna pull in for a row and kick back down. Let's begin. You'll alternate sides. So you're gonna come in, row, press it back, curl it in, and extend. Row, kick back, curl, and extend. So we're focusing on that row and tricep press behind us. So standing up nice and tall. While we're here, notice I'm trying to keep my wrists in line with my shoulders. Go ahead and rest. So it's gonna be 30-second work intervals, 15 rest. Next we have an upright row. So put that band around the upper thighs. We're gonna sit down for a moment and come nice and tall under the chin. Let's begin. So flare your elbows up, chest proud, eyes ahead of you. Really open up those armpits. Boom. So while we're here, try to still keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Some of the moves are gonna be a little bit easier with your band because you're gonna be using 2 hands, right? Working in the same direction rather than one. But we're not taking any long breaks today, and we got a lot of moves. Good, and rest. So it will catch up to you. All right, band back in your hands. It's been there. We're gonna hold it out far, or we're gonna hold it close into our chest. We're gonna punch out, and then open up with a fly. Let's begin. So press and fly. So my hand that's stabilizing, right? We wanna still make sure that we're actively working against the moving side, all right? We're not just holding there, but you'll notice you're gonna have to activate a little bit more or a little bit less depending on where you are in each move. Right, so as I press out, I'm pulling in. As I open up, I have to open out, right, with that side. Go ahead and rest. All right, next we have our lat pull down. So just so you can see from behind, pulling it nice and high overhead. I'm gonna pull down, elbow down towards the hip, still activating in this direction. Let's begin with that non-moving side. So I'm not letting it be pulled along, right? That's incredibly important. Not letting it be pulled along, and keeping that activation outwards. Pull that elbow down and back towards the hip. We will have a longer rest break, I didn't mean to scare you. But we will be working for a little while before we take it. Good, and rest. All right, next one, if you need to do your push-ups either on something with your hands elevated or on your knees, or you can totally just take the push-up out. You're gonna put that band around your palms like so. You're gonna give me one push-up and a renegade row. All right, one push-up, one renegade row. If that's too hard, you can do one push-up and then a row on each side. That's fine too. So if you're prenatal or postpartum, okay, you could either take that push-up out or, like I said, elevate yourself to make it easier. Do it on the wall and rest. All right, back on your feet. From here, we're gonna put that band around the wrists and we're gonna keep a 90-degree bend at the elbows. Wrists in line with the elbows. You're gonna fly out, alternating sides. Begin. So standing up nice and tall. Eyes ahead of you. And when we're working like this in the upper body, it's important that we maintain a strong, aligned spine. So bend those knees a little bit, bend the hips, belly in. Again, we're alternating sides. And rest. Whew. All right, keep the band where it is. We're gonna do overhead good morning. So I know this is gonna feel like it's a lower body move, but because the way we're doing it, it is mostly in that upper back. So you're gonna create some tension, open up a little bit. Staying isotonic, you're gonna hinge from those hips until you can get as close to parallel as possible and stand up tall. We're focusing on these hands right now. Let's begin. We're focusing on these hands. All right, so I'm trying to maintain that outward press through the entire hinge. Okay, through the entire good morning. Keeping those biceps aligned with my ears. Good, and rest. Not letting them come forward. So we have a minute to rest, quick drink of water, then we're going back to the top. That was round one. We have 3 more. All right, so remember, we're going back to that row to kick back. So again, we're focusing on the strength aspect as we use those same muscles over and over and over again throughout the circuit. You're gonna start to feel some fatigue. You'll start to sweat, right? Good, short break. Such a habit of saying, great job. All right, get ready to rock and roll. I thought we were about to be starting. I tricked you. We're gonna go back to our row and kick back. I should say like I kick down. Let's begin. So hold it chest height, row it in, kick it back, and then come back through the same movement pattern that you came out, or come back out the same movement pattern that you moved through, right? So when we're down here, we're not gonna just snap back. We're gonna come back through the exact same range of motion. And rest. But you know, you could always use a heavier band if you want more of a challenge. If you feel like that first round just wasn't enough, all right, it's too easy, take the next band up. I am using the lightest just because those shoulders really burn. Begin upright row. So again, focus on keeping a proud chest. Chest is open, eyes are ahead, elbows are flaring up. back on your feet. All right, we have our chest press to fly. So we're gonna keep a little bit of tension on that band outwards. As always, okay, for most of our moves, we're gonna keep a little bit of tension at all times. Let's begin. So chest press to fly. Chest press, maintain a little bit of a bend in that elbow and bring it back in. Two, one, and rest. All right, and next is our lat pull down. So one up high, draw it down low. Okay, get ready. While we're doing that again, outward, outward drive in 3, 2, 1, let's get started. And you really want to focus on activating that lat by pulling that elbow all the way down to the rib cage, to the hip bone, and a little behind you as well. And rest. All right, next we have our renegade row. So again, you either, and if you really aren't doing anything, you don't want to get on the floor, you can just go back to another row. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But otherwise, around the palms, a little bit of tension. Give me your push-up, row, row. You can do a push-up to 1 row if you want more push-ups, or if you want more rows, you could do 1 push-up to 2 rows. Belly's in tight. Even if you are prenatal, draw that belly in. It's not gonna feel like you can do too much. Go ahead and rest, but it makes a big difference. All right, we're gonna move on to that reverse fly again. So we're doing it twice if you haven't noticed, but little different variations as we can alternate those hands. All right, so here we're focusing on maintaining that 90-degree elbow and elbow, wrist, shoulder alignment, okay? Really targeting the upper back. Two, one, short break. Whew, so an hour, almost 2 rounds through. All right, you should start to be feeling quite a bit of fatigue, activation, maybe a little bit of soreness starting to creep in the back. Overhead, good mornings. Let's go find that outward drive and hinge from those hips. So we're still focused on getting a nice good hinge here. And with those arms overhead, we're creating a little bit of weight, right, that we have to carry as far as the low back goes. So yes, we're not staying strictly in the upper body, strictly in the upper half of the thoracic cage, and rest. Okay, now's our long break. However, all right, we have to stabilize for that lower spine, so we gotta throw that one in there. All right, so quick drink of water if you need it, and then get ready for round number 3. So just 4 rounds today, nothing super crazy. Just enough to feel that burn, challenge yourself, right? But do still work through proper movement technique, okay? Full range of motion. Again, we are halfway, so if you want to try a heavier band, go for a heavier band. That's up to you. I think I'll take a step up too. We'll see how long I can commit to it. I'm gonna keep my super light band nearby. All right, let's go. Row to kick back. Oh, see, this one's already too heavy. Maybe I'll switch it up. Alternate for certain moves. Good, make sure you alternate sides. This is a good workout for days you don't really feel like working out, right? You don't have to do a lot of jumping around. It's not high intensity, but you're being very effective in progress towards your fitness. Go ahead and rest. Next, we're gonna move on, upright row. This one I'll do my hip movement. I think I can handle it. Good, and begin. Or maybe you do this one and you want to do just like a quick little 10-minute blast after. That's fine too. All right, but we do need to take time to do corrective work, especially for our posture in this day and age, because a lot of us are spending quite a bit of time sitting or looking down at our phones or at different screens. Even when you're driving, you're in poor posture. We spend a lot of time driving nowadays. Go ahead and rest. If you're prenatal or postpartum, all right, chances are that you do a lot of habits or just hold a poor posture at this point, just because of the way it works with growing a baby, right? Your belly gets bigger, your spine comes out of alignment. It's harder to hold a good posture. So it's really good to do this prenatal too. I shouldn't say preventatively, but proactively for good posture after the baby comes. You're gonna be holding the baby, feeding the baby, changing the baby. Everything you do with that baby is gonna take you out of it, take you out of good posture. Good, and rest. I learned that lesson the hard way. I used to have the best, and now I really gotta work for it again. All right, lat pull downs are next. So this is a good one if you want to try a heavier band if you're switching like I am. Let's begin. So again, elbow comes straight down. Try not to crunch with it, right? Again, remember that non-moving side. You're gonna feel activation there too. And even though it's not really working through range of motion, it's gonna contract, or it's gonna work a little bit harder depending on how far the opposite moving hand is in the pull down. Good, and rest. So the more it has to stabilize, the harder it has to work, right? All right, next we have our renegade row. Get ready, my friends. If you're extremely post or prenatal and even getting in a modified plank is too much, you can be hands and knees here too. All right, but otherwise, push up in a renegade row. So far, throughout all of my pregnancies, I still like to do push-ups. I just had to start elevating at some point, but they're really good for you to still do, unless otherwise told by your doctor. They help keep your upper body strong, and rest. Because it's easy for those legs to stay strong as you gain weight, but when your upper body starts to lose some attention, you're gonna feel it a lot more afterwards. All right, you guys, corrective flies. So around the wrist, focus on that 90 degrees. Again, check in with the lower half. Oh, what am I doing? Alternate, check in with the lower half of that body. So keep a little bit of a bend in the knees, a little bit of a bend in the hips. Two, one, and rest. All right, and next we have our good mornings. So I'm gonna try a little bit of a heavier band for this one as well. Just because we're not moving through range of motion, I'm really just focused on pressing outwards. 3, 2, 1. I should say against the band, we're not working through a range of motion. We're definitely working through a range of motion in this hinge though. And again, same thing, pull that belly inwards. Even if it doesn't feel like you're doing anything, you want to draw that belly in. Support your spine as you hinge. And if you can't hinge very deep, all right, whether that's because of weakness or heaviness of a belly, okay, you can open up those hips more, or you can take a more shallow hinge, that's fine. Okay, go ahead and rest if you have not ready. We got one more round, so get a quick drink of water if you need it, and get ready to rock and roll. Last round, best round. All right, I want you guys to leave this workout feeling pretty good, feeling tall, feeling strong in that back. Are you sure you noticed you feel like it's easier to stand aligned, right, than typical? Okay, so it doesn't mean your hips, boom, are way out here. We also don't want to be tilting, all right, but you should feel, it just feels easier to just stand tall, stand comfortable, let those shoulders relax. All right, so I hope the proof is in the pudding for you at the end of the workout. Now remember, one workout is not going to fix all your problems. All right, you're going to have to maintain your consistency. Let's begin. Row to kick back. Right, so doing this one once a week or every other week. Right, this is good again for days you don't feel like working out really hard, or even like an active rest day if you would like. Or maybe you're somebody that splits up your strength and your cardio. So this is your strength for the day. It's gonna be mostly back focused, FYI, so go ahead and rest. If you are somebody that splits it up, your muscle groups throughout the week, hitting the full upper body, but really focusing on the back. Let's begin. Should say back and shoulders, but really, really, really on the back. Lots of pulling. Good, an upright row. If you haven't started already, you should know by now with Coach Zoe, you gotta move when I move. Again, focus on the quality of your rep, not on the amount. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, next we have our lat pull downs, or I'm sorry, chest fly, or chest press. Oh my goodness, it's a fly. Let's get started. Chest press and fly. Again, keep that elbow tucked in tight to the body and rest. All right, I'm grabbing my heavier band. We got those lat pull downs next. So you'll have that band overhead. I like to also face my palms forward because that forces me to kind of do this little lat activation on the non-moving side. Let's begin. It's a little easier, I should say, to create that mind-muscle link. Good. Less than 10. I know this one's pretty challenging. And rest. All right, it's so good for your posture though. All of these are really, but all right. Renegade row, again, you can take out the push-up. You can do 1 push-up per 2 rows, 1 push-up per 1 row. You can put your hands on an elevated surface. You can do it on your knees. Let's get started. Like this, make it up like this, make it not like this, make it drop. One, and rest. All right, almost there, you guys. 2 more moves, then we're done. So we have our corrective fly. So just around the wrist. And give my shoulders a short break here. In 3, 2, 1, let's begin. 90-degree bend at the elbows. Hit the shoulders. Maintaining alignment through the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Again, make sure you're alternating hands. Should say sides. And remember, we're not just going la-di-da through the range of motion. You're really focused on feeling those muscles fire. Go ahead and rest in the posterior chain, right? So you don't want to just whip that arm out. You want to really feel those back muscles pulling your arm behind you. All right, and last but not least, overhead good morning. Let's begin. Again, activate outwards, work through your hinge. And you can take as wide, if you need to be sumo stance, be sumo stance. All right? Because we are technically unweighted here, all right, we're not holding anything on our back or in front of us. Our arms are the weight. So it's nice to challenge your hinge in a different way. And rest. All right, you guys, that is it, all 4 rounds. Let's shake it out, just do a little bit of a zigzag. We'll go through our cool down. If you enjoyed this workout, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, what kind of workouts you enjoy, maybe if there are certain moves you want to see more often. If you have a super creative idea for me that you want to throw out there, please do. Any kind of feedback is welcome. It helps me know what you guys want to see, what type of workouts you want to do. I try to keep it pretty varied. That way you can find something no matter what your mood is that day. And I try to pretty much program in a way that if you are following along each time, you're getting a lot of variety. You're still hitting the full body, hitting all elements of your health, fitness. But otherwise, subscribe. That way every time I post a new workout, you'll be notified. You can join me. We'll stay fit together. Open up that chest again. Maybe drop it in front of you. If that's too hard, you can put your hands behind your head and lower. Good. All right, you guys. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Till next time, stay strong, stay tough.